All right, the first story at the top of antiwar.com today. The U.S. secretly armed Ukraine with ATACMs. So the U.S. confirmed on Wednesday that it had secretly sent Ukraine long-range Army tactical missile systems known as ATACMs. And they sent these last month as part of a $300 million weapons package that was announced. They did not announce that they sent the ATACMs, but they confirmed it. And the long-range ATACMs, these are the missiles that can be fired from the HIMARS rocket systems, which the U.S. has been started giving Ukraine back in 2022. Most of the ammunition that Ukraine gets for those HIMARS can hit targets up to 50 miles away. These long-range ATACMs can hit targets up to 190 miles away. So it's a very big escalation in U.S. support for Ukraine. And last year, the U.S. secretly shipped an older variant of the ATACM, which is actually a cluster bomb variant. So they gave them, and those had a range of about 100 miles. So that was still, an escalation in itself. But and the fact that it's cluster bombs, which for those who don't know, they basically what they do is they spread these small submunitions over a large area, and many of them don't explode, and they're banned in over 100 countries because of that, and they're notorious for killing and maiming civilians. So sending Ukraine cluster bombs with a 100-mile range is a pretty crazy thing to do, but now here is the next escalation that we were suspecting would happen, but it has already happened. And a Biden administration official said that Ukraine has actually already used the longer range ATACMs at least twice, including in an attack on a Russian base in Crimea. And of course, U.S.-supported attacks on Crimea or on the Russian mainland always risk a major escalation from Moscow. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that a significant number of the ATACMs have been sent to Ukraine, but he would not specify how many. He said that more were on the way as part of a $1 billion arms package that President Biden approved on Wednesday, and we will get more into that in the next story. But the Pentagon did not list them when they announced this package. So they did it secretly, under the table, and now they are officially announcing it. And I'll get into the more about the Ukraine aid in the next story. But the Kremlin responded to the fact that that $95 billion bill included a provision that said Ukraine will get their ATACMs. And in response to that, Russia sort of restated something that they have said throughout this war. They say, in response to the U.S. to NATO sending longer range weapons, we're just going to take more Ukrainian territory to counteract it, to create a buffer zone, as they call it. So that's what the Kremlin kind of reaffirmed that when this was in the news again.